Hello, everyone. Welcome. We are Team Oro Edu, and we are super excited to have you join us for this pre-placement session today. First off, thanks for taking the time to be here with us today. We know we are a bit tied up at the moment, but this session is still really important. It's a chance to get aligned, clear up any questions, and make sure we are all on the same page as we get ready for what's ahead. Over the next few minutes, we are going to give you a sneak peek into Oro Edu, who we are, what we do, and most importantly, how you can be part of our journey. Quick heads up about the Q&A at the end of the session. If you have any questions throughout the session, feel free to drop them in the live chat. At the end of the session, we will be picking up questions from the chat and answering them. We want to make sure you get all the answers you need, so please don't hesitate to ask. At Oro Edu, we are all about energy, speed, and growth. Every day here brings something new to learn and new opportunities to grow. Our founders are always pushing boundaries, and with our small, close knit team, every single person contributions are key. This isn't a place where you will be sitting around doing nothing. You will be diving into real work from day one. Sure, it's a bit fast paced, but that's what makes it exciting. We are looking for people who thrive in a challenge, stay flexible, and can quickly move in a constantly changing environment. We are beyond excited to have our founder, Mr. Amar Anand Singh of Oro Edu here today with us. Um, he is the one who has the vision, hard work, and dedication that has shaped everything that Edu stands for. His leadership has guided us every step of the way, and it's because of him that we have reached where we are today. We are grateful for his constant drive to make a difference, and we can't wait to hear his stories, his insights, and the inspiration behind Oro Edu journey. Sir, it's a real honor to have you us with today. Thank you for taking the time to join us today. Everyone, please allow us a few minutes. He's joining. Thank you for your patience. Okay, due to urgent work, he is not able to join us today. Sincere apologies. So, before anyone complains, today's session is now going to be a pre recorded video. We are on a very, very tight schedule, but we still want to make sure we give you an overview of the company and our culture. We really want your full attention, so please take this time to focus and learn about what we are all about. All right, let's get started.
Yes, on behalf of Rhythm and VRA, I'm Pravas Kumar from IIT Jammu.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
great, great, great. Okay, so I don't think the Dhanbad guys, it's a session that we've organized with a couple of IITs, namely Dhanbad and Jammu, to provide students a chance to get to know us better and to also ask questions. We've done this info session with a few IITs, and we've also been recruiting from all the prominent IITs for over 10 years. So my name is Amaranand. I'm founder of the Oro Group. We have a number of ventures and an investment fund that we run. We'll be walking you through each one of those quickly. Um, and then we've also got our team from some of the ventures to give you a sense of what the experience is like. Most of them are IIT alumnuses, and they're going to talk a little bit about their own experience, and then you guys have a chance to ask all of us questions as well. Um, so with that, let me just kick off a little bit of my background. So, I grew up in India, went to St. Stephen's College, did economics honors, went on to the London School of Economics to do my master's in finance and economics, and then was at Stanford Business School. Um, Started my career back in 2000 at McKinsey and Company in New York. That was management consulting largely for financial institutions globally, and then joined one of my clients, which was Citigroup in New York, to have a position on the M&A committee and essentially help manage their $2 trillion balance sheet with investments across the world. We prominently made the largest investment in HDFC Bank and HDFC Corp, the mortgage company, before most people that kind of heard of HDFC. And then, several investments globally, including Akbank in Turkey, Bank Handler in Poland, Banamex in Mexico, Household in the US, et cetera, et cetera. I started my first Web 2.0 venture back in 2006. It was the first cohort of Web 2.0 ventures, a company called Eat This Money, where we came up with a model for people to set a price for their time and to essentially leverage the business process of shoring movement in India, largely from Western markets. Very fortunate at the time to become the top 50 startups in the US. It was a class that had Mark Zuckerberg, LinkedIn. So if you Google that, you'll see some presentations that we made at the time along with these gentlemen. Didn't realize how big Web 2.0 is going to become. But got an offer to head up one of the large private equity firms in Asia. So I think wrongly took that on to join Cinven in Europe, and later found that some of these companies that we presented went on to become the largest companies in the world.
Hi, guys. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Okay, wonderful. Um, and we've got everyone on the line.
Yes, this is YouTube live. Yes, yes, we have.
Okay, wonderful. So hey, everybody. I
Sorry, I think my network dropped. Am I audible again?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay, great. So Ritu, maybe you can just help me with which colleges do we have attending today?
Okay, sir, give me a second. Okay, so we have IIIT Guwahati,
Okay,
Maharaj Agrasen Business School Delhi,
okay,
Narayana Business School from Ahmedabad, and NRI
okay,
Institute of Technology, Vijayawada.
okay, lovely. So welcome everyone. I'm assuming this is for both our internship program and our full-time program,
Yes,
Ritu?
sir.
Okay. So for the internship program, we're looking at students in class, essentially the first year, second year, and third year of their undergrad. And if you're in business school, I mean, do we have the? I mean, we always start these classes with you identifying who's the placement coordinator in these colleges, right? So do we have we done that in this call?
Yes, sir.
Ritu, I couldn't hear that. You have done that, right?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, so maybe I think for the engineering colleges, we know it's a four-year program. So for the business college that you mentioned in Delhi, who's the placement coordinator for that? Who's on the line?
For Delhi one, it is Ileana Kanodia.
Okay. So I guess Ileana's not on the team, but she's on the YouTube link, right? So
Everyone is on the YouTube, yeah.
yeah, yeah. So Ileana, if you can hear us, can you just put on the chat on the YouTube comments? What is the duration of your program? Ritu, do you know any? Do you know ahead of? Are you aware by any chance how long that program is?
Uh, their business program, like
Yeah.
MBAs, 2-year programs.
Oh, so it is there. Okay, that's an MBA school. Okay, because you can also have these days. You can also do business at undergrad level. Uh, okay, so that's a 2-year MBA program, right?
Yes, sir.
So their interest would be both in internships and full year. Okay, so I guess we have a combination of undergrads and grads, and we also have people who are interested in the internship, which would be, the first, second, third year of your engineering or any other, science program that you have, or the first and second year of your business school program.
Yes, sir.
Um, so, I think I'll let you listen to my background and what Oro does. So, we're a large investment fund, global, but with a special expertise in Asia. So based out of Hong Kong, but also have offices in India and in Dubai, and then also in the US and in Germany. Um, so it's a combination of an asset management firm and a data science firm. And within the data science firm, we have a venture studio where our leading venture is Oro Digital. Our up and coming venture is Oro EDU and Oro 2 Sigma. And then we have several other ventures, which you'll hear about in the video shortly. Uh, but maybe just high level, the comments that I wanted to sort of share with you live is that, very excited to uh, have you interact with the Oro ecosystem. We do pride ourselves on hiring some of the best athletes, the best students from around the world, not just in India, and then putting them in high-paced environments where these are high bandwidth environments where you get a lot of leadership, you get a lot of responsibility, and if you're good, then you do quite well and advance quickly in the organization. It's much more of a new world, sort of modern company rather than the older world hierarchical where you start at the bottom and take 30 years to become the CEO and all of that, right? So these are much more entrepreneurial, fast moving, high tech. Even if you're on the business side, you're engaging with you know, questions, be it directly on the investment side or on the investment side of our ventures um, that are also high paced. I mean, your report card of how you performed, especially in those jobs, is very clear because everyone can see how much P&L you generated, in a given period. If you're on the investment side of, let's say, Aura Digital, it's very clear to everyone, how much capital or how much, or if you're on the sales side, how much business you generated. Similarly with Aura.edu, it's very clear um, how much impact you had in terms of sales and business development. Um, so that's kind of a high level overview. Uh, I can maybe take a few questions right now if there are any. But otherwise, we can go to the recording as well, and then there's quite a few questions that are asked by students in that as well. But I'll maybe pause for like a couple of minutes, just to see if there are any questions at this time on the YouTube channel. Uh, if not, I'll hand it back to you, Ritu.
Okay, so I think there are no questions here. And also, Alina has confirmed that they have 2-year program at their college.
Okay, wonderful. Um, okay, guys. So then, yeah, let's go back to the video. I guess you'll get a lot more flavor, and then you might have more questions later.
So, if
So
I
back,
may ask, you can share some background about yourself.
yeah, I think, well, I think they already heard. I think up until the venture that I did in
No.
the Web 2.0 space. So we were one of the first. Actually, we were the first. Sorry, can you guys hear me?
Yes, yes, we can hear you. So,
Yeah. So, we were one of the first Web 2.0 companies. I mean, this company that I started back in 2006 called E-Time is Money. It was basically a Web 2.0 venture that basically connected the East with the West and helped basically do, recruitment of talent in Asia from Europe and the US. And the ability to basically for every individual to create a expertise menu and monetize the value of their time. And so in 2006, as I was saying in the video, if you Google like Stanford Always On, chose us as the top 50 startups in the US. It's quite ironical now because in that startup was Mark, in that list of the top 50 was Mark Zuckerberg at Facebook, was LinkedIn, was Yelp, was Twitter. And these companies have gone to become some of the largest companies on the earth. Um, and so at that time, for right or wrong, I think I didn't realize how big the Web 2.0 space could be. I got a, I got an offer that I couldn't turn down from, one of the largest private equity firms in the world, to come and head up Asia for them. And so I took that. And then, although it was a great job, and we did some multi-billion-dollar investments around the world. But then many years later, I realized that what I gave up was perhaps even bigger than the road I went down. And so as I watched these companies take over the world, basically, it was one of my aspirations to go back and try and build some more unicorns from the bottom up. And so when Web3 and AI came along, I decided I didn't want to miss that opportunity. And so all of our ventures in our venture studio, which is called Aura.ai, basically have an AI angle. Many of them have a blockchain angle. And so that's what we're doing now. But before that, after private equity, I also started and ran one of the largest hedge funds in the world in Asia. That was a spin-off out of Lone Pine Capital, where I was part of the founding team in Hong Kong back in 2012.
grew that into at peak an $8 billion fund, and did hundreds of investments, both public and private, around the world. The more marquee ones you may know of are companies like Uber, Palantir, Alibaba, uh, Snapdeal, Car Deco, and so on and so forth. IndusInd Bank was one of our largest investments here in India. Um, they've been in the news recently. Last week, they had some issue in their accounting on their derivatives portfolio. Um, so Sumant Katpalia, who's the CEO, has come under some investigation. But that's now, and we long exited IndusInd Bank. But we brought in Navjeet Sopti from ABN AMRO to head up that bank, and um, we were after the Hindujas, the largest investor in IndusInd Bank at the time, and we took, we bought the stock at around uh, 300, and it went up almost like 20 times from there before we sold it. So it's been a good run on the investment side, but now much more excited about building unicorns from the bottom up, and that's what we're doing now at Aura.ai. So I invite all of you to join us in that journey. So Ritu, then back to you.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
joining our session today. Thank you so much. Okay.
Thanks, everyone.
Quickly go through the list, um, and then pass the mic over to our teammates from a couple of the ventures. So, Aura Digital, the first one, as you can see, is based in the US. It's one of our flagship ventures. It's the new name for a NASDAQ listed company where we acquired the OMS BMS company called DigiNex, which was a trading software platform. We've since built that out to be one of the largest infrastructure players within blockchain. So it's connected to about 105 centralized exchanges, about 120 DEXs, all the large OTC desks, and many of the large qualified custodians around the world. We've got two of our colleagues, Aditya and Navas from Aura Digital, who will also talk about their own experience from that. The IMS is an investment management system that is actually been moved from the US. It's now headquartered in Luxembourg. It's a marketplace for asset managers to raise capital. AIML is that's artificial intelligence machine learning platform to create a suite of prediction models for digital assets. So it's everything from GANs, WHANs, LSTMs, transformer models, where we essentially predict the price of digital assets and also invest in them. Aura.edu is another flagship venture. It has essentially disrupted the education space by creating a fully native AI app that curates a customized curriculum for students, everyone from class 11 upwards to professionals. And it also has a powerful learn to earn model where we're focused on a big problem in India, which is that a lot of the engineering colleges are half empty, and even the folks that are enrolled have less than half of the class actually finds a job after they graduate. Less of a problem in IIT, though we've actually seen that same phenomenon play out in the IITs as well to a lesser extent. So we've got two of our colleagues from Aura.edu, Nikhil and Shresh, with us as well to talk about their experience. I'll run through the others pretty quickly. The idea is just to give you a flavor of all of the types of innovation that's happening within the Aura group. So Aura.ai is a robo-advisor. So it's a fintech asset manager. Ideal Development is a co-innovation and co-working company. Aura Yoga is a health tech company. Shub.in is one of India's leading content publishing and book publishing companies. Aura Bridge is a German company that is one of the first to issue fully licensed tokens that tokenize real estate infrastructure and green bonds in Europe. Or a bet is a betting platform, which is a prediction markets for real world events, like who wins the US election, for example. Or Sui Clear is a JV with Sui, which is a spin-off from Facebook or Meta, as they now call it. Oracle is a venture where we essentially have a very deep data lake of pricing of various types of assets that we provide to various verticals. Aura Dex and Aura Liquid are our proprietary DEX aggregator, where we basically have algorithms that are able to get the best price from multiple liquidity pools. And the last point is that the ones in all caps are Web3, and the ones in non all caps are basically Web2 projects. And so as you can see, AI and blockchain sort of run prominently across all of these companies. So with that, I'll pause and pass the mic on to Aura Digital. So Aditya and Navaz, whoever wants to kick off, and both of them are senior team members of ours now, who joined us right out of college and can share their experience. We also have one of the CEOs of one of our ventures called the Aura IMS on the line. Charlie, are you there?
I am. Nice to meet everyone. I can just give a little background on myself. Is that what you like more?
Yeah.
So Charlie Phippen, I'm here outside of New York City, in the state of Connecticut, actually. So welcome everyone. Really happy to see everyone on the call, and it's exciting to talk to such a great group. My background is I have about 25 years in finance. So I've worked at big firms like Goldman Sachs, UBS, BNP Paribas as a trader, and then moved more into management and running businesses. So I just was running as the CEO of a firm called Water Tower Research. And now we're working with Amar, and we're looking to expand that business as well. So nice to meet everyone.
Hi guys, I'm Aditya and I graduated from IIT Delhi in 2023. My major was in mechanical engineering. And since then, I'm a full stack developer at Aura Digital, where I contribute to both back-end front-end system, as well as I am responsible for managing the CI/CD pipelines as well. So let me tell you about briefly what our day-to-day looks like. So for front-end development, we ensure that our platforms are user-friendly and visually appealing by building intuitive and responsive interfaces. We work extensively with React.js, TypeScript to create seamless user experience. And we also have a significant focus on performance optimizations as well, because in order to remove the UI latency as much as possible so that our clients can use our tools effortlessly. On the backend side, we develop robust APIs mostly using Python, and we work closely with databases like Redis and Postgres to implement efficient data storage and retrieval mechanisms. And for CI/CD pipelines, we mostly work with Ansible, GitHub Actions, and Docker to design CI/CD pipelines that automate testing and development, as well as the monitoring procedures. So yeah, handing over to Nawaz, he can guide you more on the backend side.
Yeah. Hey guys, so I'm Nawaz Zafar. I'm a Python developer in Aura Digital. So the product that we are building is OEMS, which is Order and Execution Management System. So a brief background on me. So I'm also a 2023 graduate. Me and Aditya were in the same batch, and we got selected for Oro Digital, and it has been a great experience as we got to learn a lot about algorithmic trading and how these system works, and how like crypto is redefining the future, as we say. And we are building as we are creating the future. So that's pretty interesting. We are not as we are creating new innovative solutions in the backend space. So the backend stack is mostly Python based, uh, where we have a lot of different Docker containers which manages different services. We have balances, we have algo execution, we have exchange management, we have everything in between. And we also have a very interesting decentralized integrations as well. So yeah, overall my experience in Auto Digital has been very great. I got to learn a lot here. So over to answer.
Yep, thanks, Navaz. So maybe we can now move to Shrey, who can talk about his experience at Fora.edu.
Yeah. Okay. So hi guys, I am Suresh Jaiswal and I'm working at Oro.edu. So Oro.edu is basically the edtech side of Oro, and we are creating this platform for upskilling. And I'm working here as a product manager. So if you have seen the app of Oro.edu, I have designed it completely. So with Oro.edu, we are trying to achieve to create a platform for everyone who wants to learn, and as well as uh, 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 connect with the jobs, internships, freelance opportunities. So in a way, we are trying to fill the gaps between learn to earn, because you have seen like people in the market, they are learning from various platforms. Some they are learning from YouTube and everything, but learning is just the first step, right? So after learning, you need to connect with the right opportunities as well. So with that goal in mind, I started working already. So before that, like I have 6-7 years of experience. I passed out in 2018. So initially, I was working in tech sector of like K-12. So we were building a product for JEE, NEET, and those exams. So I have myself cleared those exams. So I started with that domain. So, but like from last 2 years, I have been working in this upskilling sector. So for mostly college students and professionals. So the very good thing about Auro.edu is we are trying to use the latest technology like AI. As you have seen, like AI is it has gotten so much power now. So we are using leveraging AI in Auro.edu and trying to build a platform where where AI can assist you in a way which is so personalized, and it knows everything about you, and can help you at every step. So Auro.edu is not just about learning. AI is along the way, and it will help you with doubt solving, revision, and it will create you custom courses. Like if you give a exam and you see you have some deep concepts, so it will create you custom course just for those weak concepts, dedicated for you, personalized. And also we have built this engagement on our Auro.edu app, because learning is just one part. Engagement is something where you actually explore the other side of learning. So the whole app is gamified and fully increased. So you can connect with other people, you can talk to experts in chat rooms, and there's e-money or a coin system in the app. So in a way, this app is, a whole platform what we need at this time, because there are so many platforms. But all what you do is something, it starts with the learning part, and then you know uh, um, tutoring, mastering, and then at the end it's the earning. So we are connecting learning to earn. So we are not just uh, a platform which I would say you just go and start a course and learn and finish. So at the end, you will get the opportunities freelance, full-time, and internship modeling. So that's what we are trying to build in order to do. So in the future, like if you are gonna have any doubts related to product, not just the learning part, but any doubt related to the product, like any feature, anything, you can ask me in this meeting. Yeah. So now handing over to Nikhil, who's our backend developer.
Hello. So I'm Nikhil. I passed out in 2016 and have been working for Oro.edu for last 8 months. So the backend architecture of Oro.edu is mostly based on Python and Flask. There are multiple microservices, and the middleware is in Node.js Express. For databases, we sometimes use Mongo, but mostly we use MySQL. And yeah, so for our Gen AI needs, sometimes we use ChatGPT, but most of the time we rely on Gaia.net, which is an uh, open source Gen AI platform where anyone can upload their own models and they can host their own nodes, right? And for some ML-based tasks, we are using BERT and other models. So in the backend, I would say we use multiple tools based on their usage. So whatever the requirement is, we pick the best suitable tool and then we start using it. That's all for backend. Over to Omar.
Great, thanks, Nikhil. Okay, so you've now heard from quite a few IIT alums who are currently part of our team. We have several, as I said, been working with IITs for over a decade, most closely with Delhi, because that's just close to our one of our data science centers, but with all of the IITs as well. Okay, so with that, we'll break into Q&A in case there are any questions.
Hello, sir. My name is Akash Bharadwaj. I'm from IIT Chennai. I'm also a placement coordinator and as well as a student over here. I'm tech student. And my question was like, there are a lot of products that you have just discussed about. Tech product is based on Web3 and Web2. So how does the ideation process goes on for all these products? So in the initial phase, how does that
The what process? Sorry, the what process?
ideation process?
Ideation. Yeah. No, that's a critical part of because we're at the very early stage. So we're at sort of, I mean, the project starts sort of pre-seed, and we typically come in at the pre-seed level. So it's all about ideation. And so what happens is that it's called a venture studio for a reason, as opposed to an incubator or an accelerator. You probably have heard all of these, and I know there are accelerators at IIT as well. So a venture studio, the difference is that in a venture studio, you are kind of not only incubating, but you're also building from within. So what we tend to do is we leverage extensively our own networks of people. And so a lot of the initial ideas and the initial founders come from within the network, as opposed to just, meeting somebody who you don't know at all, and then sort of just investing in their project. So that's the nuance between a venture studio and an incubator. So the template is that 25 years, and have done that across most probably the US, China, and India, but then also across Western Europe and Asia, Greater Asia. So Indonesia, Philippines, Thailand, Australia. So have seen a lot of the investment teams that have started early on in the US. So if you look at the e-commerce team, we've invested in that globally. So we invested early on in eBay and Amazon. And then when the biggest opportunity in e-commerce moved to China, we invested in Alibaba, Tencent, Baidu. And then finally, when the opportunity moved to India, we were part of the biggest cash burn war ever seen in internet history, which was between Flipkart, Snapdeal, Shopclues, Paytm, and Amazon. And so my point is that we've seen a lot of these investment themes play out globally, and we kind of know the pattern, and what has been successful and what can be successful going forward. And of course, the past is not always a predictor of the future, but there's quite a lot of investment acumen because of that in the team. And that's just not myself. There are others who've been part of that journey with me. And so when we ideate in the venture studio, we have a pretty good handle on what we think is a powerful idea, and we tend to first invest in it ourselves. So we seed all of these companies ourselves, and then we allow other external investors to come in. So, for example, in Aditya and Nawaz's company, or Digital, we now have two prominent VCs from Silicon Valley, Inventors Capital and Silicon Valley Quad, who've come in and done the subsequent round.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for the question. Thank you. All right, any other questions?
Yes, sir, requesting you to please describe the blockchain developer role.
Sure. So Nawaz, I'll allow you to come in as well, but let me kick it off. So, the languages that we tend to code in most frequently are obviously Solidity and then Rust. But we're also, given the partnership that we have with Sui, which is the Meta Facebook spinoff, that is all done in a language called Move. And then, we're also actually now actively looking for Golang developers as well. So within the blockchain space, those are the four sort of prominent languages that we code in. And then, in fact, one of our hires from IIT, Rohit, who joined us from IIT Delhi, has done some fantastic work in that area. So we built this very cool aggregator, which is a bit like Jupyter, which is a DEX aggregator on Solana, which is valued over $1 billion. So that just focuses on 8 to 10 DEXs within within the Solana ecosystem. We've been able to extend that to a number of other blockchains, both EVM and non-EVM. So that's an example of somebody like yourself, coming in and kind of building, with Oro, and leveraging all of the contacts that we can bring to bear, the resources that we can bring to bear from the entire ecosystem. So every time we build in the space, we have the benefit of partnering with the blockchains themselves, with the L1s and the L2s. We know many of the founders well. We sometimes get grants from them as well to help us build and innovate. So yeah, that's a very exciting opportunity here. Great. Any other questions?
What will be the steps of hiring process?
So the hiring process is reasonably kind of structured. So maybe sometimes 2 rounds of exams, and then we filter it down to the interview stage. And then at the interview stage, you have a few senior folks from the team meet with the candidate and assess fit, and then we just extend an offer. So this year alone, we've already extended 10 offers across the IITs, and are looking to make some additional hires coming.
So, sir, for all the roles that are being present over at Oro, so is the hiring process same, or is it little different for every kind of role, basically? Like there is back-end role, front-end role.
It's reasonably similar. Structure that I defined is very similar. Of course, the exams that you're giving can be quite different. So if you're applying for a back-end role, you'll get back-end content. If applying for front-end, you get front-end, blockchain, so on and so forth.
Okay, sir.
Great. So if there's no further questions, we'll leave it there. So thanks everyone for joining and your interest, and we look forward to engaging with you in the coming days. Reskilling and training the students to get them up to that. And we really thought that the current education is a really great life experience in terms of. So Martin and I actually went to Stanford Business School together, and just had a really great life experience in terms of the education we received. And so we were very passionate to do something together in the field of education. And we really thought that the current education system is broken. Now, of course, you guys are the lucky few who are going to really good colleges, but frankly, even in the colleges you go to, even in the IITs, about 50% of people who graduate really struggle to find a job after graduation. And out of those who do, many of the employers find that the skills that the students come in with are not well suited for the skills they need on the job. And so a lot of time gets spent in reskilling and training the students to get them up to that level. The education system is also a bit outdated. That's our belief. So it's a World War II education system that basically industrializes the process and batches students together by age and through a very rigid framework where you have to very early on in your life choose one stream, and then you're pretty much stuck on that stream for the rest of your life. We believe that especially now with the advent of AI and a lot of tasks getting commoditized, what's far more important is to engender real learning, a real training of the mind, have a multidisciplinary capability set that allows you to get things done in the real world, rather than a siloed sort of education system that teaches you, sometimes quite often just to answer, questions via rote, or trains you more to be conscientious and do certain types of homeworks and and then do well in the exams. It doesn't really teach you to be productive in the workplace. And actually, India is a glaring example. So there's a very important paper written by the World Bank about India, where the title is "Where Did All the Education Go?" Because from independence to now, India has massively increased its literacy rate. As you know, certain states like Kerala have 100% literacy rate. And if education is actually leading to greater productivity, we would have seen a massive increase in per capita incomes in India. And so there's been very little correlation actually between higher literacy and higher productivity growth. Per capita incomes in India are still stuck in Africa type levels, at your $2,000-3,000 per annum. Whereas at the levels of, if education had actually delivered the productivity growth that we thought initially that it does, we would have been far further than we are now. So anyway, that's just one inspiration that we had to create Aura.edu, which is kind of this alternative way of learning where it's multidisciplinary, it's age heterogeneous, And it's really about teaching you skills and then providing you a job on the back of that. So yeah, wanted to share one of the ventures and the story behind it. We have a few, but also happy to go back to taking questions. I think there was a question about the product management role. So yeah, I think Abhishek said it, clearly it's not something that requires any coding knowledge per se, but it is a role that will, sit between the coding team, so the front end team, the back end team, the cloud management team, and it does require you to interface with all of the commercial team, the sales team. So with all of the teams, as you spec out a particular idea and bring it to life. The ability to interact with coders, to speak the language, to understand some of the jargon, is helpful. I mean, it is something you could learn on the job as well. But I guess those folks who have some understanding of, some of the jargon that is involved when you're talking with, back end team, and understanding what a cloud is, how servers are set up, understanding what CI/CD processes, just at a very high level. So at least you're able to design products by taking into account all of those factors.
Can I just add there to Amar's comments there, which I think are very pertinent and hopefully helpful to the group. As Amar said, we met at Stanford. We've both got a very deep passion to try to bridge this gap. And it's a gap that both Amar's seen and myself have seen in our work during our consulting days. I was a partner at PwC. We used to recruit graduates every year. And I saw this in real time. We had very smart people coming through with good degrees, but that gap with us being able to deploy them immediately and to get the usage, if you like, get them in front of clients, there was a gap. And I think that's been increasing for the reasons that Amar has said. So that's where we see Edu come in to try and help talented individuals like yourselves to bridge that gap. The universities and the colleges are really good at helping you to think and to how to think about a problem, but that application is a little bit limited, and it's not just anecdotal evidence now. There's real evidence coming from this, both from the academic world and from talking to clients in the way Amar said. So that's what we're trying to do. And the other aspect I just wanted to stress is that in what we're doing through Aura.edu, it's quite rigorous. There will be examinations, not to be too worried about, but we feel that also helps bridge a gap, which is that there has been, in some cases around the world, there's been inflation in some of the gradings, and they cannot always tell who really knows stuff from if there's been an awful lot of people sort of getting similar grades, whereas we feel that's not as realistic as it could be. So the examination side of things, we feel will help people have a credential that when they get a certificate with us, they're definitely able to pass. That will augment what they have in terms of their educational qualification. We see that is not just, we're not just embedding the skills in people, we're having sort of a proof, if you like, that they get a certificate. And we think the two of those go together will really be something that will help the youngsters, the talented individuals that we know are out there, bridge that gap and get the employment that we want them to get at the moment some of them are missing out on. I just wanted to stress.
Just to add to that. Yeah. And, Martin also has a PhD in behavioral economics. And, one of the things that we really drill down on is, what we call our 2 Sigma approach. So the parent company of EDU is actually called Aura 2 Sigma. And the 2 Sigma approach is that there's a lot of scientific research that's been done to show that if you can add mastery learning, which is what Martin was sort of referencing, where if students are not allowed to go on to the next, next year or next chapter without having at least some mastery of the fundamentals that have been taught in the prior chapter, then that really learning out. In fact, it helps it by one standard deviation. And the other is if you can have some individualized tutoring, then that helps by another standard deviation. Now that was obviously very expensive to do, and the schooling system only achieves that to some degree. But now we've been able to leverage AI to provide individual tutors for every student. And so together we've been able to achieve a 2 sigma improvement in learning outcomes.
All right, the pre-recorded video is done. Now that you have got a sense of who we are, let me share further. We are currently hiring for both internship and full-time graduate roles here at Oro Edu. If you are looking to take the next step in your career or want to get your foot in the door with a fast-growing company, we have got several positions available. We are hiring for product management, business and investment analyst, blockchain developer, front-end developer, back-end developer, and full-stack developer. So what's the hiring process be like? Let me walk you through it. First, we will kick things off with resume shortlisting. This is where we take a look at your resume to get a feel for your background, your experience, and what you bring to the table. Next comes the 2-round assessment process. The first round is an aptitude test where we will assess your problem solving skills and analytic abilities. Then the second round is a technical assessment. This one focuses more on testing your technical skills and understanding of your field. If you do well on both assessments, we will move to the personal interview. That is where we get to know you better, your motivations, your approach to work, and how you fit with our team and culture. Now let's talk about the internship details, just the internship details. The internship will be of 8 weeks long, and we are flexible based on your availability. During that time, you'll get a stipend per month. The exciting part is if you perform well during your internship, that's a great opportunity to convert into a full-time role. Of course, the CTC for the full-time role will depend on the job description and your performance. We are looking for people who can grow with us long term. As for the eligibility, we have we are taking for internships. We are taking second year, third year, uh, final year students, and for the full time final year students who are graduating in May 2025. So, if any of this sounds like the perfect fit for you, we would love to see your application. And of course, if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the live chat, and I'll read out your questions and answer them. Yes. Please introduce your name, your college, and your question. I had read one comment, Rishabh Kumar Roy from VIT. So Rishabh, we have already sent out the selected students list for the round 1 who has cleared round 1 and already shared the assessment for the round 2 with your college. Please contact with Dr. Arun for the same. Do we have any other question? Okay, so Piyush Kumar is asking, so please explain about core finance job role in this company. In brief, the GDs have been shared with your respective placement coordinators. But in brief, I'll share few details about it. Regarding the qualifications and skill set, we are looking for MBAs for this role, and regarding the skills, strong analytic and financial understanding, deep interest in investing and market research, passion for financial education, of course, and high emotional intelligence is a plus.